Situated in the southeast corner of Australia lies Canberra. It's been the capital of Australia since the country's parliament moved here in 1927. Today it's home to 320,000 people and is also the headquarters of the Australian Institute of Sport, which occupies a 65-hectare site in the northwest of the city. The AIS is the country's national centre for the training and development of elite athletes. It was opened in 1981, partly in response to Australia's disappointing showing at the 1976 Olympics, in which they won only 5 medals, none of them gold. To date, AIS-trained athletes have won 122 Olympic medals, including 29 golds. Of the current crop of talented youngsters at the Institute, looking to add to that tally is 20-year-old long jumper Robbie Crowther.
I'd like to make the Olympic Games next year, but I think the biggest goal for me would be 2012 London Olympics. Hopefully make that, and because that's where I'll turn 25 and I'll start to peak around that age. So I think it'd be great to get on the podium at Olympics. That'd be a wonderful experience for me, and just the atmosphere to compete there as well.
Robbie is the reigning long jump junior world champion, having won the title in Beijing last year. He became Australia's first junior world champ in athletics since Jana Pittman, and the first Aboriginal to achieve such a result. But what was more remarkable was that 18 months earlier, no one in the athletics world had even heard of him.
But you would have felt a really good lift.
I think the ride and the journey for Robbie has been incredible, and for me. So to find someone, I guess, that talented and who made the changes and adaptations as quickly as he did.
Craig Hilliard is Robbie's coach and the man responsible for bringing him to the AIS. Robbie hails from a small town in the far north of Queensland. In late 2004, Hilliard ran a coaching clinic, which a 17-year-old Robbie showed up to.
He rocked up to the track the day we held the clinic. We had about 10 people there, all different age groups. And there was Robbie, fairly raw, but he didn't say a lot. His girlfriend drove him up from Bowen, which showed commitment to me. Put him through his paces, and as I said, he was fairly raw with his triple jump and plyometric actions and sprinting, but he showed me something. He showed me a little bit from in here. A bit of inside, a bit of sort of spirit there, and also he was deceptively quick. And we went over to the long jump pit, and I just threw down a mark. I said, run in from there and just do a few takeoffs, and he was quite natural. And I thought, long jump could be his go here.
A few months later, Robbie went on to win the Australian all-schools long jump and triple jump titles. His performances at that event convinced Hilliard to offer him a scholarship to the AIS. Under the tutelage of Hilliard, who guided Jai Taurima to a silver medal at the Sydney Olympics, Robbie has developed rapidly as a long jumper. He'd never trained in the event before coming to the Institute, and within a year of being here, he'd added 80 centimetres to his personal best, which currently stands at 8.02 metres.
I think coming from his environment, I was really scared that he'd be sort of out of here in 6 months. I thought he's either going to love the place, or it's going to be, it's cold in winter, and I'm missing my friends, I'm missing home, I'm missing family. He has a great family support at home with his parents and his brothers. And so I thought that would be probably the first hurdle to overcome.
Yet Robbie settled in immediately at the Institute, and last August, in his first trip outside Australia, he won the junior world title. His triumph came in spite of the fact that he hadn't trained for weeks leading up to the competition, having twisted his ankle falling down a flight of stairs. And on arrival in Beijing, he was struck down with a virus.
I was really sick, coughing up phlegm. I had an earache on the qualifying round of long jump. And I think just to get all that out of your system, just to going into a final, is really good. And my coach, Craig Hilliard, was really happy with the way I mentally dealt with all that. Just with sickness, threw it all out, get out of my mind and just focus on the comp. So I think that's my biggest strength.
As a boy, Robbie excelled at rugby league. His talent attracted the attention of NRL team the North Queensland Cowboys, but Robbie turned down the chance to join them to pursue a career in athletics.
My dad actually chose the sport for me. Like he said, you know, go out, do athletics for another year, quit football and see how you go with your athletics, and it's got me down here at the Australian Institute of Sport.
Athletes at the AIS combine their sporting activities with studies. There isn't a purpose-built educational facility on the campus, so the youngsters attend schools and colleges in the Canberra area.
Why do you keep them still?
Robbie is currently studying for a diploma in sports development coaching. The 20-year-old's fledgling success has made a lot of news within Australia's indigenous community. Since he's been at the AIS, Robbie's become involved with the training camps that Athletics Australia have recently started up in the hope of unearthing more indigenous talent.
They had a camp here 2 weeks ago, which there's talent ID for athletics, and I did a talk to those guys, and I think they really listened to that, and hopefully they could go through, finish school, because you need education. Because if your athletic career stuff's up, you got something to back yourself up.
The next few years will determine whether Robbie can make the successful transition to the senior ranks. Being the World Junior Champion and having won gold at the World Student Games recently, big things are expected from him. However, his coach isn't getting carried away just yet.
It is still a big jump in 2 years, less than 2 years, for him to go from World Junior Champion 8-metre jumper to a consistent 8:20 plus jumper. That's not an easy task, and so it's easy to get caught up in, yes, it's World Champs this year, Olympics the next year, and you actually lose sight of the big picture. And for Robbie, his major goal will be in London. So I've got to be very mindful of that, and I've got to train him appropriately for that, because it's easy to take shortcuts.
In just 2 years, Robbie Crowther has gone from unknown to World Junior Champion. If he can continue his progression, then his dream of Olympic glory may one day come true.